Hey, it's Mark Linear with your video thought for the day. All right, I'm excited about this week. See, having gone to law school, and many of my viewers are lawyers as well, one of the aspects of law school that I think kind of alters the way our brains work when we go through law school is a teaching method by many law professors. There are many classes you take in law school where the professor doesn't lecture really hardly at all. Almost the entire class consists of you reading materials before class and then going to class and having the professor pepper you with questions. She or he will ask you question after question after question. It's called the Socratic Method because Socrates was famous for teaching by asking rather than by saying. Something remarkable happens when you educate someone by asking questions because you force them to think through what it is they believe or what they are saying. And so when you ask these questions, for some, it will help clarify their thinking. For others, it'll show the problems in their thinking as they get kind of cornered or trapped through questioning. Some, it'll show that they don't want to address what they're being questioned about because they'll pivot. Politicians seem really good and trained at pivoting, some politicians. So within the framework of this, I thought actually Pastor Jarrett's suggestion that I'd spend a week looking at questions that are asked in the Bible. And I'm excited about this, not only because the Socratic method seems to be an integral part of what I do as a lawyer. After all, in a trial, I put a witness on the stand and evidence is elicited by asking questions or direct questions or cross-examination questions. So I like that. And I thought that the first day of this week, I would get into the questions that are the very first ones asked in the Bible. It's found in Genesis chapter 3. So here's the lay of the land. Chapter 1, God creates the world. Chapter 2 has the creation story of Adam and Eve being placed in the garden. And Adam and Eve are told, eat anything you want, except don't eat of this one tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And God commands them, don't eat of that tree. Now the serpent comes in and he tempts them. Actually, he tempts the woman. And he softens the command of God. There's a Hebrew word for command that God's using. God's commanding, don't eat of the tree. And instead the serpent says, did God really say, which is a softer, not a command, did he just say? And so the woman is beguiled by the serpent. And she eats and she gets the man to eat. And all of a sudden they have become sinners. And it has radically changed the way they think. And God comes into the garden and he starts calling out with the very first question. See, God comes into the garden. Adam and Eve are nervous because they've sinned. They've violated the commandments of God. So they hide and God calls out, where are you? That's the first question. Where are you? Well, now God knows where Adam and Eve are. And actually, he's singular there. He's calling out Adam. Where are you, Adam? And so Adam, come on. God's not asking that question because they're playing hide and seek. God's asking that question in a Socratic method. He wants Adam to address it. And so Adam's response is, well, I heard you were coming and I realized I'm naked, so it scared me. Which is kind of a pivot. Maybe there's an overlay of the fact that, later on in the law in Exodus, Moses is told don't let people serve the Lord naked. But aside from that, maybe later comes on, this is Adam just pivoting. Second question, God says, who told you you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree I commanded you not to eat of? And Adam says, well, she did it. She told me. And it's the woman you made. And God then says to the woman and directs his question to her. Next question. He says, what is it you've done? The serpent deceived me. So these questions, what does that do for me today? I know even the all-knowing God wants me to understand the impact of the decisions I make in this life. And he will ask me those questions. I will ask you those questions. Do you and do I understand every decision we'll make today will be a decision with consequence? And so do we make those decisions in a godly way so that we're not afraid of being questioned about what we do? Put that before every decision you make today. Will I be at peace if God questions me about this decision? It'll radically change your day. And it is your video thought for today.